We'll call to order our meeting of the West Valley City Council. We note that we have 6 members of the council here. Councilwoman Lang is excused. And we'll begin with an opening ceremony. We'll turn to Councilman Vincent for that.
Yes, can you please stand and complete the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We note that we have some scouts here tonight. I know at least some were prepped for that. And so, but it looks like we have another one over here. And they're ready. Okay, thank you, Councilman Nordfeld, doing the prep work for us. With that, we invite whoever's been designated to come forward. Start over here on this side first. Yes. Come right up to the microphone.
We're Troop 46. I go to Navigator Point Academy. My friend Braden, he goes to Hunter Junior. My friend James goes to Hunter High School. My friend Nathan goes to Monticello, and then the 11-year-old Scouts Ben goes to Carl Sandburg. Torin goes to Armstrong Academy, and yeah.
Okay.
There'll be at least 2 schools that we missed.
Just about covered all of them. And what are you working on tonight?
We're working on the community badge for
Citizenship in the community? Great. Well, thank you very much for coming. And I believe we have a lone scout over here on the other side.
I'm in Troop 1248, and I go to Kearns High School.
And you're working on your
Communications merit badge.
communications. Great. Thank you for coming tonight. Glad to have you here. And so, with that, we move on to the approval of our minutes. Could we get a motion on the minutes of January 26th?
Mayor, move for approval of the minutes of January 26th.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll place that for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passed unanimously. The minutes are approved. Now we go to our public comment period. We do have one person who signed up to speak to us tonight. Mr. Nichols, we welcome you back and invite you to come forward for your comments.
My name is Paul C. Nichols. I live at 5329 West, 4100 South. I see nothing has changed. I've been gone for 2 months. Traffic's faster. The kids at noon, in the morning, they're going wild, racing up and down at noon. Cutting through the credit 48 today I see, but they've got a guy coming out of the library. Nothing's changed, but he's supposed to open their eyes, and they ain't opened their eyes yet, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else here for public comment? Seeing no others, then we will close our public comment to our city manager for any comments.
No thanks, sir.
Okay, to the council, any comments? Okay, then we go to the next item, which are our public hearings. And so we have before us application SV-3-2015. This is to vacate all of Holmberg Street and a part of Leon Avenue. The city is requesting this Those streets, by the way, are at 2950 West, 3550 South. West Valley City owns that area that's part of our city center development. This is the next step in that as we determine how to make those changes there. Ultimately, there will be some new street put in close to there. And so that's happening just right here at the west end of our Fairborn development here, Fairborn Station. That is the issue. So everyone here who desires to speak, I hereby open the public hearing on this resolution, and those who want to speak, if you just raise your hands. Oh, none of the scouts were here to speak on that. That's interesting. Okay. Sometimes no one comes to our meetings. That being the case, and for the benefit of the scouts, I would just mention to you, if you think we don't spend enough time on some of these issues, understand this is the second time we have dealt with this. Our issues, we study the prior week. And so we ask questions, we discuss the issue, gives us time to find out, go follow up on anything. So by the time we come here, where we take care of then the official motions, we have already had those discussions. So if you think we don't say very much, there's a reason why. And we normally don't take questions in the middle of our discussion outside of public comment, but we would be happy to visit with you right after. Is that okay? And answer your question. Because once we open that door, we have to open it for everyone. So with that then, seeing no members of the public who want to speak to that, the public hearing is now closed and the matter is before the council. And we will address that as ordinance number 16-05 to the council.
I move for approval of ordinance 16-05.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's properly before us. Any further discussion? This is a fairly routine thing, so not too controversial. Seeing no discussion, we will then turn to our city recorder for a roll call.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have, we're to the item number 8, our ordinances. We have ordinance 16-06. This is we're proposing an approval of a change in our consolidated fee schedule for West Valley City Municipal Code. These are for fees at both the Ridge Golf Club and Stonebridge Golf Clubs. This was requested by our Parks and Recreation Director. This does not mean necessarily that those fees will increase immediately or at any time in the near future. It just kind of depends. They will evaluate those. We put a cap on them. They can charge less, they just can't charge more. That is the item before us. This one is not a public hearing, so we go directly to the council for any comments or action.
I move for approval ordinance 16-06.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Properly before us. Any further discussion on the fee schedule? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we go to resolutions on our agenda. We have resolution 16-22. This is to create a memorandum of understanding between ourselves and 2 other organizations, South Valley Services and Utah Domestic Violence Coalition. This is to run a program that the city has already instituted, but we will be partnering with them. It's referred to as the Lethality Assessment Program Maryland Model. This is in cases of domestic violence where there is a set program of questions and actions to take to determine potential physical threat or danger to an individual, to determine if the police department should call in someone to assist that individual, or if that individual can just then go on with their business. It's been very successful. It's a very positive step forward in the treatment of those who suffer from domestic violence. And this is one of the areas where West Valley City is actually leading out, and so very positive step. With that introduction then to the council for any comments or motions.
Mayor, I would move that we approve Resolution 16-22.
We have a motion, a second?
Second.
Oh, there it is. Okay, we have the motion properly before us. Any further discussion on this issue? Then we'll turn to our city recorder for a vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
The next resolution is Resolution 16-23, authorizing us to enter into a master tax exempt lease purchase agreement with U.S. Bank Corp. Governmental Leasing. This is a lease agreement with them, $345,520 for a 7-year lease. The payments will be $12,340 over a period of 7 years. The interest rate 2.15%, so a fairly good deal. This is for vehicles, radio equipment, radio equipment for the police and fire department. And so we have a routine replacement schedule on that. And so there will also be another step to this. We actually have 2 items in order to get this done. One is for the lease and the other is for the purchase. We have to do those on separate resolutions. So you'll see a similar one immediately after this. That's the one before us now, is the lease agreement. With that introduction, to the council for any comments or motions.
I move for approval, Resolution 16-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's properly before us. Any further discussion? Kind of a standard replacement program for this, so not too unusual for our city. With that then, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now we go to Resolution 16-24, which is to actually authorize the purchase of these items for the same thing. The radios for the police and fire, same amount, everything. I did ask why we didn't do the purchase first, then the lease, but I guess it doesn't matter. No one can tell me which one really should come first, so we just do them. With that then, to the council for comments or motion.
Mayor, I move for approval of Resolution 16-24.
Second.
We have a motion and a second before us. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for a vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we have our consent agenda. Consent agenda is typically items that aren't even as controversial or require as much discussion as the last ones we have. And we typically will take those as a group. We have in that group 10 items. 5 of those, and these are all resolutions individually numbered, but we will deal with them most likely as a group. 5 of them deal with appointments to the City Audit Review Committee. It is to appoint as members of that committee Wayne Pyle, Cindy Adams, Dean Liddell, and Lars Nordfeld. And then also to appoint Lars Nordfeldt as chair of that audit committee, audit review committee, for a period of approximately 2 years. Not approximately, for 2 years, till the end of 2018. So, that is that issue. The other 5 are agreements that we enter into on small pieces of land, typically associated with a temporary construction easement, a right-of-way, a temporary easement, or even a utility easement. We have a little bit of everything. These are basically along 4100 South, where we're widening some intersections. One is to release a temporary retention pond easement. The others are out on U111, same type of thing, where there's going to be some road work. We have to get permission to go on people's property for construction. We have to sometimes purchase small pieces to widen the roadway, to deal with public utility easements. And that is what all of those are about, those other 5. So there's 10 fairly routine items that we do over and over, happening all the time, usually non-controversial, done with the authorization and approval, and in some cases even in the payment of fees to the property owners. These are signed agreements with them to accomplish. So to the council then, for either a motion for all of it or part of it, as the maker of the motion determines.
I would move that we approve the 10 items on the consent agenda.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the 10 items on the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll place that for a vote to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfeldt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
That completes our regularly scheduled business. We have no need for an executive session, although that's on our agenda. We always put it there in case the need arises. With that, any final comments from the council? Seeing none, we'll take one final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned. Thank you.